Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I'm Morgan Robinson. This is Coming to the Mic, and this is my guest. I'm not going to mess this up. Les Clendenin.
You did it good. You
Yes.
did it good. Only took you 15 times.
Uh-huh. We weren't practicing that before this. Well, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate you being on the show.
I am so glad to be here.
To intro
excited.
you, Les, you are you hail from Tennessee way,
I do.
Nashville.
I do. Yes.
And you've come down here. You've done a show with us at Cactus Cove, where we had Saul and Rodriguez and Javi Zamora, and we appreciated you putting that on. That was a fun show. You had your guy, who was Mr. 505.
Yes. Adrian Walker.
Adrian
Yes.
Walker, very funny guy.
Yes.
Shout out Adrian.
Yeah.
Very cool too. Y'all were all very. This is what I've been telling people. Like, I didn't know y'all before we did the show. Really, it was just kind of communicating.
We
over
bought
text.
each other blind,
Yes.
didn't we? Yeah.
And so now that I know you guys, and I'm like, this guy loves comedy. He loves to have fun.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of blown away how much energy you have, because I feel like you have more energy than me, for sure.
It blows me away. I'm amazed at how much energy I have sometimes, and I don't know why. I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah, because sometimes I think, man, I probably need to stop, but.
No, I think you're doing great.
Yeah.
You got tours going on all over the place. You've done several shows here. We're doing a show.
Tonight.
Nobody will know. This will come out after that, but show tonight at Hoots.
That's right.
Hoots is a great place.
I've been there. I went.
Have you been? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I went sang karaoke there last week.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I'm so excited.
It's
about
a good.
being
It's
back
a
there.
nice bar.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the like biggest up and coming, even big names at that bar.
Really?
I met Shooter Jennings.
Oh wow.
Because he played there.
Dude, that'd be
He's
pretty
from
cool.
Tennessee, right? I think maybe he was hanging out in Nashville.
I mean, yeah. He's Shooter Jim. I mean, Waylon Jenny. I'm sure he had a house in Texas, had a house in Tennessee, wherever the fuck they wanted.
So I've seen a lot of red dirt bands, red dirt country bands that you don't know that were really big in there.
Oh, that's what I've gotten to see a little bit of music down here, but I want to see.
It's been a long time.
I did see a good. They weren't country. I think he may have played a country song here or there, but he was more rock. But at Smokey Joe's.
Okay, Smokey Joe's is always
yeah,
cool.
dude, and it was packed. I mean, they I cannot remember the name of the band, but they were really good. Playing a lot of covers, and which
yeah, we love that around.
Oh
here.
yeah,
We've got some good musicians in Amarillo.
I've been trying to find a guitar player. I don't know. I got a guy that I don't know. He's kind of iffy. I'm not sure if he's going to show up, but I have written my own country music song.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that if I can get somebody to play a guitar for me.
Nashville, you should.
Yeah, of course, And but I want to perform it tonight. So if you know any guitar pickers that could come out.
You told me that. I completely forgot.
Yeah, so put it out on Facebook.
I'm going to have to get on the ringer.
I'm not depending on my buddy Johnny. He's just he's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Okay.
And I don't know.
You don't think he's going to come through with the
He's
guitar?
not good. He might show up there, but I'm not. He's just not a very good texter.
So you're going to sing this song, and they just need to know how to play
it. I've sung it a cappella a couple times. I'm not going to do that tonight. But the first time my friend Cheryl back in Nashville, we got to practice it once, and then I just start singing it. If somebody knows how to play the guitar good with a singer, they can kind of play along with me. I mean, we probably aren't going to get nominated for a Grammy. Maybe a CMA award. I mean, they're cheap.
Maybe.
But it's just fun.
Hard to get to.
It's more the lyrics that I want people to hear. Nothing against musicians.
I have a feeling. I have my mind's going a lot of places where the lyrics will be going.
Yeah.
No curse words, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It's got a few. Yeah.
It's funny that you were talking about how much you tend to curse, and the show we did at Cactus Bar was
family friendly.
Was family friendly.
Not just clean. Family
and I'm
friendly.
the only one that broke.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear you. Yeah.
And I'm typically the clean guy, which was really funny to everybody.
I'm not. I don't know, because I hear so much comedy, I can't pay attention to the cuss words. I'm listening for something else. So I asked Mabry, my friend's daughter is 10 years old. I'm like, you count the cuss words. I can't think of anybody else that can do it better than a 10-year-old
Did she give
girl.
you a count?
Yeah, one.
One that was me. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Maybe I got to pass her.
And that's the weird thing about that. I was thinking about us. If you would have put us like on an album cover, and there's family friendly is the last thing you would think. I mean, maybe me, and possibly you. You could go the youth pastor look, and I'm definitely, I don't know, this look could go any direction for a white guy.
Yeah.
So trust me, I've been accused of being a lot of things, or called a lot of names. But when you look at us as a whole with Javi and Adrian, nobody's thinking, these guys, Walt Disney, family friendly. So, but I was proud of all of us. That
I said before the show, I said they didn't say what kind of family.
That's right. Yeah, if it was my family,
Manson family.
Yeah.
Adams family.
See, I think it is irresponsible of parents. I am a parent. I'm a grandparent. I have 4 children. And I find it highly irresponsible of parents that do not use extreme profanity in front of their children. You've got to condition these little brats for fucking football coaches and bosses and, and just living in the world. Yeah. And this acting like, everybody just lives their life to suit to your fucking needs is insane. Yeah. And I see too many. I went out into the world like that, and I was bound and determined that it wouldn't happen to my kids. They would be exposed to everything. That I could. I mean, I wasn't showing them like hardcore porn or something, but it was like I let them know it's out there. Like, hey, you probably Google something on that phone, and it's going to take you to something you don't know what the fuck you're looking at, and you're going to feel real weird. Just be careful with that stuff.
Parenting tips from
that's right. I'm full of them. Yeah.
I think the reason that what was weird about that show is that it was out in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they had to be technically family friendly.
Well, they got to be. And that's who they're catering to.
You never know who's going to be there. If we would have been in the...
in the bar. Yeah, I got real excited when I walked in there. But they're like,
I know, I thought that's where we were going to have... I kept telling everybody we were at Western Horseman.
I would have been very disappointed had that bar asked me to do a clean show. Because to me, I find that hypocritical.
Yeah.
Now, the atrium of that hotel, I get it. Their market is church groups, Boy Scouts, fucking baseball teams. They got kids. Most of them are religious. And, so you've got to, and I have no problem with that. But when you own the, whatever, Western Horse Saloon or,
Horseman,
and you're sitting there sending bachelorette parties and shit, trays of shots of tequila, and then you're going to be judgmental with me because I said the F word.
That would be highly weird.
Yeah, go fuck you. Well, it happens. I see. I've been in plenty of bars in Nashville. They're cool bars like that, and they're like get all pearl clutchy if you suggest we can have a dirty show or hell, sell THC drinks. We've never sell that in our bar. I'm like, dude, you're selling 21-year-olds just buckets of beers and tequila shots. What the fuck? You're going to give me a morality lesson? Get the fuck out of here. It was still a fun show, though.
Good.
I think, everybody, the audience, when I was up there, seemed engaged.
What I was going to say, sorry, before I forget this, what I've noticed too, sometimes people will request clean just so, because they don't understand how comedy works, just so you're not like
going vulgar on purpose.
Doing the wild stuff like that. Because I did a show for a guy who came into town, and I asked him, because I'm the clean guy, and I asked him, I said, for one, you weren't clean. Why did you ask for a clean opener? And he goes, I just do that so you don't act stupid.
Yeah, I get it. Well, and especially it's, guys your age and younger. White young men, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get from anybody. But you got some 22-year-old white dude.
You never know.
You don't know. I mean, it could go. From Austin. I mean, it takes a lot for me to like, ooh. And I've a couple times like, we might want to keep an eye on you, Austin. Too much of the like, so yeah, I get it. I definitely, that's a great approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does make sense because you get these, like, especially,
Well-
we get some pretty sensationalized comedy coming from Austin, or it can get kind of small town people don't love Austin sense of humor a lot of times.
Okay.
Like,
I get it.
not that Amarillo's a small town, but you get a lot of people
Compared to
that
Austin,
come from small towns that come here. Like, I just recently had talked to a guy, the woman who was the wife of the guy who owned the last comedy club we had here.
Okay.
This was from 85 to like 95.
What was the name of it?
Jollies.
Jollies.
Yes. And I forgot what I was going to say about that too.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
I'm getting old, Les.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
38. Yeah. It's old to some people.
Yeah, it's old to a lot of people that I hang out with.
I thought I was getting old at 38. Yeah. No. Hell, I didn't think about Amarillo.
We had a comedy club.
Jollies. Yeah.
Jollies, yeah.
I could see one doing good.
Sorry,
here.
I'm going to interrupt you because I finally get my train of thought back. But she said that they have a more small town sensibility in the weekend because that's when the small towns come into Amarillo because they have time. They would do a show Tuesday through Saturday, and so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would be a different Amarillo crowd.
Right.
And then Friday, Saturday,
they got people traveling
They got small towns, and Sam Kinison played that. I
bet Bill Hicks might have.
Bill Hicks was there.
Yeah.
And Sam Kinison they booted him on Friday because they knew that they weren't going to be able that he was going to run everybody off on Friday and Saturday because they kept telling him they knew he was crass, so they were like, give us
they wouldn't even go see him. He was too dirty. Oh.
Yeah, give us your mild material.
Yeah, and he wouldn't.
After Tuesday, she goes, I told you to do your mild material. Can you do your mild material on Wednesday? And he goes, that wasn't my mild material.
Yeah.
And so they knew it wasn't going to work.
Well, I kind of get where he's coming from because part of me wants to, when people say they want the clean show, it's like, go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when somebody says, well, I'm not racist, but, yeah, you are. Yeah. And it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's not a good way to start a sentence.
I have a lot of friends. One of my very good friends, Drew Davis, he runs a thing called the Clean Comedy Collection out of Nashville. And they're expanding into different cities. And he is a clean comedian. And I respect him. He's a great guy. And I've met a lot of them that's what they want to do personally is do. And I have no beef with them at all. My beef is with the audience that requires a clean show. Mm-hmm. Now, I get it, the far end of the spectrum, but that they want to clutch their pearls. Mm-hmm. And it's not what they're really saying. They can't take anything they don't like here. Yeah. And it's not that word. Yeah. It's the story that's going, because it's the edge. Your clean comics, nothing against Nate Bargatze, but he doesn't make anybody question any of their beliefs or values or something like that. Dave Chappelle does, Bill Burr, Nikki Glaser, the ones that they consider vulgar and can dismiss them for that shit. And because I've grown up with them.
They're making you think. Those guys are making you think.
Well, and then one, you find out they really like it. They just can't like it in public. Yeah. And I find them slimy and disgusting. And that's my main thing. But I like it. I think it's a challenge to perform clean comedy. It was a challenge to come up with it. I mean, I was wondering, I was scared because I've gotten to where I think I'm pretty good when I'm doing my own thing of getting the crowd really into it and getting good laughs. And I'm sitting there thinking, all right, is it true? Is it true that, if I don't use these words or talk about sex and, drug abuse or whatever, can I not get the laughs? And I think we all proved that that's not true. Yeah. We can. Yeah. We all like stood up there. Yeah.
Because I'm typically, I cuss quite a bit in my natural life. Yeah. But I like the rails. I don't know why. I feel like it. I don't know. It forces you to do.
Two things I've written that I don't think anybody else has found very funny, but I wrote for just about clean comedy. The first one was I was taking classes at Third Coast Comedy, and we had one of our homework write a clean set. And so I just wrote a set like I was coming on to your TV show. And I talk about how stupid, one of the things is they give me all the words I can't say. Here's the words you can't say. And I say, well, it's ridiculous because if I do say them, all you have to do is bleep them. Because I could have walked there and said, hey, what the bleep's up, you bleeping bleep holes?
Yeah.
And, and then, or just use a synonym. I hit my thumb, oh, fudge, and just go this whole routine. And then the other one, I have a story where, I've always driven down the road. And so I get aggravated by the people driving around me, and I have them in two classifications. The first group, I call them motherfuckers. And these people haven't done anything wrong. They've committed no traffic violations or anything like that. They just have the audacity to be driving around me. And so I'm constantly saying stuff like, motherfucker, turn already. But then the second group of people, I call them dickheads.
Okay.
They have committed some kind of violation. Now, it could have been as minor as they have left their blinker on too long, or they might have nearly sideswiped me and made me go off the road. Either way, I'm up screaming at them, pay attention, you fucking dickheads.
I think you might have road rage, Les.
Oh, well, yeah, I do. But my biggest concern is I had a clean show, and I wanted to tell this joke. And I'm like, all right, well, how do you tell a joke where you call people motherfuckers and dickheads at a clean show?
So what
you can't just bleep it. So I found synonyms, and I looked up. And the best part of the whole thing was just the synonym for motherfuckers. If you could, how would you replace motherfucker? What would you use?
I would want it to sound like it, so I would just say motherfather.
So you would go with just replacing fucker and
yeah, because it sounds like it.
You would sound like my mother. Instead of saying fuck, you'd say, oh, fudge.
Motherfather.
No, I know that, but that's the kind of same thing.
Yeah, I just wanted it to sound like it because I don't want you to just completely replace it because I want it to sound like the original. What would you do? What did you do?
I wanted to, based on what you said, I wanted to have the meaning.
Okay.
So what I came up with, matriarchal impregnators.
Okay, that's funnier than motherfather.
Yeah. So
now,
that was the best.
No idea what you're talking about, but
well, it's clean comedy. I would have never come up with that if it wasn't for having to do it at a clean show. And I got up there, and nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. What is this guy talking? Matriarchal, and then for dickheads, I called them penis skulls, and then fornicating penis skulls. That's fucking dickheads. Okay. That's how you say fucking dickheads on radio and television.
Okay.
Fornicating penis skulls. And then, shit.
Sounds worse somehow.
It does. It sounds a lot worse. And I don't know that you could say that on television. I said it at the Why Not Saloon in West Nashville. Okay with it? And they didn't say anything. So
cool. Well, you're from Nashville, like we established. Yeah. You're on a tour.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
And you've graced us with your presence in Amarillo.
Hey, it is my privilege to be here.
And you've been to Lubbock.
Lubbock.
And you were in Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
Where else does this tour take you?
Well, I first stopped in Memphis and hit a mic there, met and ran into some people that had connections within Nashville, and it was fun. I'd never spent time in Memphis. I meant to get to Graceland, but I didn't. I stopped by the Bird Dog Museum just outside of Memphis instead.
Okay.
It was,
Bird Dog Museum.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper than going to Graceland from what I hear. And it's just fun. Then I went to Texarkana.
Okay, yeah.
And got on some mics there. And I'd never been to Texarkana. Just seen about it, heard about it. And so that was kind of cool.
A place with 3 names.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then 3 states.
3 states.
And then it was weird. Driving from Texarkana to Plano, I drove through Paris. I drove through Detroit, Clarksville. all these sit. I'm like, what the it was like half of there. I was like, man, am I driving through Tennessee again? And but then
So how do you set up whenever you get there? You just start making calls, or
no, we've been planning this for a while. I mean, Ellie, uh, my original plan was I'd go into Manhattan back in April, and it was after that trip. I funded the whole thing. It was just me. I even paid to get on the mics in Manhattan, but I needed to prove to myself that I wanted to do it and that I could. You know, I'm a 54-year-old man, and I haven't always treated my body the best. And and is it worth what I'm going to give up? You know, I got 4 kids at home.
New York's a hell of a place
and I
to
got
find
a grandson.
that out.
But I went and had the damn time of my life.
Where'd you go in New York?
Shit. I went to every fucking mic I could get on. Laughing Buddha, I know I went there. I can't remember all the names. I did get the New York Comedy Club.
That's what I was wondering, because I knew they had I went there. I saw Mark Norman there.
That's when I've had this hat and everything for a while, and I worn suits, a full suit, but I'd never worn like a sport coat with the blue jeans. I basically would just wear a shirt, pants, but it was Easter Sunday, and I wanted to wear my suit, because it was a special occasion, and but it was pouring down rain. It's pouring down rain, so I didn't want to wear my dress shoes. I wanted to wear my boots because they're waterproof, and I had a raincoat, and I thought, well, just fucking wear the sport coat. I'd always just, I don't know, people that wore sports coats and blue jeans were fucking douchebags. And people that wore hats like this were douchebags. That was just my impression of them. And but I hadn't even worn my hat. Most of the time when I was out there, I just had a ball cap on or something, wearing a jacket and jeans, And but it was Easter, so I wanted to dress up because I had nothing but, I was going to go and do all my church material, and I did, and I went to the New York Comedy Club on Easter Sunday afternoon, and I had on my sport coat with a button-up shirt, blue jeans, and this hat, and people ate it the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then once they heard my voice, and I fucking had some, I go pretty hard against religion. I got some stuff that people are like, all right, is this a joke or you just really pissed?
Yeah.
And I think there was a little bit of that, but I had some stuff that hit really good. And it
sounds
was
like
so
a
much
New
fun.
York style of humor.
Yeah. And but I got, of course, got a cool picture, standing there, and then and it was fine. I had to get back. I was still working for the radio station as a marketing consultant, so I had to go back. My kids are home. Kids got band practice or something, and I did not want to go home. I was like, I didn't have to stay there. I'd have gone anywhere, Detroit, make my way, and then as soon as I got back, I was like, I want to go to L.A. I want to go to Los Angeles, and I've never been there. I've been to California, but never Hollywood and Los Angeles. And Ellie is she was my wife's best friend, and so we've been very close. And I thought, well, shit, I can call her, pick her up halfway there. She can help me do videos and stuff. And she was all about it. Yeah. And but turns out her daughter is graduating from
A&M.
No, UT. She's getting she's going to be a physical therapist. So it's a white coat ceremony, and that's in Galveston at the end of the month. So instead of going to Los Angeles, we just planned we'd do a tour of Texas and just work our way across to Galveston. And but it just kind of worked out different that I ended up booking a show in Plano, and kind of earlier than we thought. So I went there, and she flew out to meet me, and then we did that, and then drove back the next day to Amarillo, and then Lubbock, back to Amarillo, and then we're leaving. We'll do our show tonight. Yeah, Monday. We're leaving. God damn, it all gets here quick, man. Monday, you go to Austin. I don't have any.
You said lots of energy.
Yeah, I got lots of energy, and and lots of material. I I haven't been able to book anything in Austin, so I'm just going down there. I'm not going to stand in line to be on Kill Tony. That sounds awful. When I saw they showed a video, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
There's like 300
for the
people
chance.
waiting.
For the chance, no, fuck no.
It's about 5 in 300 is your chances.
I'm not a big fan of it anyway, so I didn't. That didn't. But I want to go down there and see the scene, because I hear it's
a lot
very
of clubs down there.
Here it's very comparable to Nashville. I expected a little bit better response, when I reached out to them, being from Nashville. I thought I'd get something. I don't expect not I'm anything. It's just coming. I feel like in Nashville, if somebody announces they're coming through, they get bombarded, and they get, I think most of our open mic hosts make sure if you're on a bucket list, we make sure travelers get up, or a lot of times, hey, get the guest spots, especially because, we want people coming in from out of town. We know Nashville is in between a lot of places. So maybe just some ideas for people out there.
I know you're a radio DJ first.
Not
right?
necessarily a DJ. I don't play music. I'm just
radio talk.
I have a radio. I have
You have a radio show
on the radio.
Okay.
Yeah, on the radio, and it will be a podcast. I got to stop long enough for one of us and actually do the work to do it.
So how long have you been doing that?
Not long. We just started.
Oh, you're new to the radio thing too.
Well, I've been working with the radio station since May of 2024.
Okay.
I'd been working with a uniform company.
You've been in show business for
I'm
forever.
just as talented now.
Yeah, just natural.
That's right. Well, in ways I have. I was, I grew up going to church. And when I was a kid in church, I was always, and at school, if there was somebody needed to recite something or somebody, hell, I'd sing a song. I did not give a shit. Whatever they needed done. I could read the Bible verses, say the prayer, be the Tom Sawyer. I was Tom Sawyer. I was Prince Charming. I was always the one. I'm good at it, and I enjoyed it.
And this was near Nashville?
Yeah, just right out where I grew up,
okay.
right outside of Nashville. Okay. And being in my career, I've been either a route representative, where I drove a truck and worked with customers and picked up their uniforms, but I had to deal with their issues, which there were many, and or I sold, as a salesperson. As a salesperson, basically, a lot of what you're doing is just putting on an act.
Yeah, you're talking.
You have to learn what they say. You got to learn their product, and even good or bad. I'm not saying it's bad, and I've just always enjoyed. And when I went to church as an adult, I gave 4 sermons. I was when our preacher went out of town. They said, "Hey, will you fill in?" I gave the announcements every Sunday. I taught Sunday school, and I missed that, and the community of church. I truly missed it, and it was so hard for me when I came out of that because I had no outlet for what now I understand to be how I express myself creatively.
Yeah.
And I didn't paint, I didn't do anything else, and when I left that, and then when I lost my wife, I was kind of isolated. And, when you leave religion in the way I did, and it wasn't like I did it in a mean way. I was just honest. But people didn't want to have shit to do with me. I mean, I'd get invited to Christmas, but nobody's going to get too close.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear what I got to say. And
in the South, that's
and so
a thing.
I drank. I just get at home. I just sit at home and fucking drink beer and listen to music and think. And I would write, and think about doing jokes? Comedy. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I have been keeping a list in my phone of notes since 2013. We had started listening to Pandora comedy, and I was listening, and it was good. I mean, hell, it was Tom Segura, a lot of people that are really popular today that were coming up, and I thought, but a lot of it I would hear, I'm like, that motherfucker was good enough to get on this, whatever this is, Pandora. I didn't know what to call it, And so I just started thinking, well, if I ever get a chance, I started just thinking of stories. And then when Michelle died, well, that was 2015. I would think about it and write about it. And then, I always liked writing and I love telling stories. And then I can't remember what it was that finally made me go do it. But, well, it was my kids got older. Once they, you go through, a period there where you can't wipe your ass or go to the store or they're just right there. And then it goes from that. There's no easy transition. It goes from that to like, you don't see them. They just ignore the fuck out of you. And it's like they're kind of mad at you. And you're like, what did I do? And, and I just found myself. And then I'd already been sitting there by myself for a long time. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. And so I was like, maybe I can find acting classes or something. And found Third Coast Comedy. And I know, there's comedy here besides Zany's. Zany's is a comedy club in there.
Yeah, Zany's the one I know.
I'd been there and heard about it. But other than that, I didn't know anything existed about comedy in Nashville. And then I found like open mics and just went to one.
Yeah.
And and it was like probably.
When did you go to your first open mic?
September of 2022.
22, okay.
Yeah. And, but I've been preparing for this shit for my entire life. The whole gamut of it, more so that I've realized. My sales training, my marketing training, my background, and then I grew up with you probably had two of two. Most people that are into this, they grew up, somebody in their life loved to either just tell jokes or tell stories. And I come from a long line of great storytellers. I don't agree with all their stories, but they were good at telling them. And that's what that
is an art too,
to
tell a good story, especially in comedy, because it can be tough.
It is. Well, and I've had to learn, as you can see, I talk a lot, and so when I first started doing it, I thought my plan was, I got 5 minutes, so I had a whole 5-minute story, and I realized I would have lost them. You
gotta have
40.
So many laughs.
I had to learn, but I learned that the first night I went. I saw it. I was like, okay.
When you're thinking of a story, you think, I can spend minutes telling this story, but the payoff is going to be so worth it. It's going to be so funny.
And it can be, because one of the reasons I think we get that in mind, because I very seldom watch Netflix specials or anything like that anymore. I used to watch them all the time. But especially Dave Chappelle, he's one at it. He'll tell a fucking 5-minute story. Or it seems like 5 minutes, no laughs at all, but you're hung on to his every word.
He can get away with that,
But he can do that at an hour-long special.
Yeah.
Me and you can do that at an hour-long special. You can't do that at a 5-minute open mic.
Not 10 minutes.
You're just going, unless it is a really, really good
earth-shattering,
and it's like.
I don't think I've heard
a
laugh line that was funny enough to go 5 minutes with no laugh and then.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, and when you learn it, I don't know. That's the fun part.
But the stories is such a fun thing to do on stage.
Yeah. Well, and then
I'm not very good at it, but I had a couple.
I thought you were. I can't remember. It's somebody. Ellie said something. I posted a clip of one of my sets. She goes, "Oh, why would you post that now? Don't you want to do that in Amarillo?" I'm like. Nobody's paying that. I hope somebody's paying that much attention. You're like, I used to, but nobody even like you're saying. I remember seeing your set. I sat there and took notes during your set.
I know you did.
I cannot remember a fucking thing you said. I just remember it was
several
good.
Things that you
said. It was clever, and I've realized that about other people because I used to be so fearful about doing the same joke twice, or especially posting it. I'm like, well, if I post it, they're not going to want to. Bullshit. It's like a song. They're going to want to hear it again. And every time you tell a joke or a story now, it's totally different just because you're in a different fucking room.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've told the same story that had these people laughing so fucking hard, and then the next night, and they're just looking at you like, "Is this all you got?" Yeah,
it's a completely different
it
monster.
just yeah,
The crowds
and
are so different.
the crowd. It could be the weather, the host. I mean, if you get a dead host, somebody that's boring, it's hard to get it going, and that doesn't happen often. Most of the people that I've worked with, it's usually been at an open mic that it happened. But I like to have fun at an open mic too. I was like, we need to practice having a good time doing this. We can't be just up here just reciting our stuff.
No, I agree. I agree completely. So you came. Where were we at? You did your open mics in 22, and so when did you realize that? I guess you always realized you were going to do comedy or could do comedy, wanted to do comedy. But when did you go? Okay, I'm putting this plan into action. I'm going to do my own shows. Leslie Boy Productions, correct?
Leslie Boy Comedy Productions? Yeah, I had come up with that name. Probably about a year ago. Comedy to me, it's a very overwhelming thing. And then I had just started a job with the radio stations, which I liked. I mean, it was a cool job. I got to say, hey, I work for Nashville's rock station. I mean, I listened to the station. I mean, I know a bunch of people that listen to it. So it was cool, and but it was overwhelming too. And I thought I could bring the worlds together. And but I don't know, the people at the radio station didn't really see it or couldn't really help me too much. They have, I mean, and the comedians didn't understand it. And for a long time, I thought, like at the end of last October, that I was going to quit comedy. I was like, I don't know. It's just, I got to quit something, and this is paying me. And I'm basically funding this. This is a hobby.
With the radio?
No, I need to quit comedy. Comedy is just, instead of playing golf, I do comedy. And I can't, I just can't do it that
way.
I'm
losing money doing comedy.
Well, yeah, I can't, with golf or some other hobby, I could do it as a hobby. I know I'm not going to be Tiger Woods, but with comedy,
you're like, I got to go all in.
I want to be Eddie Murphy, and I think I could if I get the right connections and the right help. And maybe I'm being arrogant, but I mean, it's all about in my mind.
No, you absolutely.
And so I can't go in halfway. And but it was actually my therapist that she said, you should, because I told her I've got to quit something, and I think I'm going to quit comedy. And she told me, she said, she said, really the time when you only brighten up and smile is when you talk about doing comedy. And I was like, and that's when I made the decision kind of on a whim. I mean, I did. I got mad at my boss on a Friday night at around 6:00. And I made the decision, and Sunday afternoon, I took my kids out for lunch. I told them, I said, I'm leaving for Manhattan in the morning. I'll be back week after next. And I emailed my boss the same thing. And no, actually, this is what I'm doing. And I did. I just took off. Didn't really know where I was going to spend the night. But it was, doing that trip and being on the road and pushing myself and meeting all the people and just experiencing life in a different way. I've traveled quite a bit. I traveled when I was in the Air National Guard. Michelle and I, we'd go to vacations and stuff, but I always traveled as a white man. And I went where older white people do, and did that shit. The nicer hotels and stuff. And this time I didn't. I didn't have the money. There's no way I could afford it. I was staying in cheap ass hotels. I stayed in a Airbnb in the middle of what would be called the projects in Nashville, in Baltimore, Maryland. And stayed in what I hope is the oldest and dirtiest motel in Newark, New Jersey. I surely can't be, but it was clean. I mean, I don't want to say dirty. It was clean, but it was just old, and it was fine. No bugs or anything, but it was not places. It would be places my grandmother would say I shouldn't go.
Yeah.
You know, my mother.
And New York's an expensive place.
Oh, it's very expensive. And, you know, and I'm riding in the subway at 3 o'clock in the morning and just around all these homeless people. And the thing is, none of it was like the bullshit that I'd been fed. I have watched news report after news report after fucking about Newark, New Jersey, Baltimore, Maryland, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. None of them good. Mm-hmm. Not one of them. The people are dicks. Don't get out of your car. They'll stab you in the throat for $3. I mean, it's just that kind of shit. Just, everybody's a drug addict. It's the exact opposite. Everybody I met was just the kindest, sweetest people I met, regardless of what.
That was my experience in New York City too.
And I hope more people, you don't have to do comedy. Just go to a city, get a cheap fucking motel, and go to a local show or a bar, or have a community that you can. That's one thing that I love about comedy, is when I get there, it's like. This is a bad metaphor, but you ever seen that movie American History X with
American History X, yeah.
When he goes to prison and he shows the flag, I mean, that's kind of what we do, except we're not showing the Nazi symbol. You go to the open mics, let all the brothers and sisters.
We take our shirt up and it's a microphone.
Yeah. Well, if it's a man, some big flat floppy titties or something. Oh yeah,
good analogy there.
Take off your Star Wars shirt.
I was wondering when we were going to get into the American History X analogy. My
son and I watched that movie probably about a year ago. Oh my God, that thing's intense.
Yeah, it is an intense movie.
Oh my God.
So New York, that was that was
yeah, that was just eye opening. It was, and I think that's when. I get my energy level. There's something about that happened to me. We had a really bad ice storm in Nashville. I mean, like, and I remember we had one back in 1994, but I was out of the country. But my parents weren't. My parents went without power for 2.5 weeks. I mean, it was awful. I mean, it's just, so they were forecasting this thing, and most of the time I don't take that shit seriously. What the fuck, who cares? But this one, I was like, you know what? It's possible, because I mean, I live out in the woods. I mean, I'm not far. But it's out far enough that, if shit gets that bad, I mean, it's a bunch of fucking trees. Like, in between Goodlettsville and my house is every fucking tree in Amarillo. Okay? And they have a capability of falling across the roads and on the power lines. And so this ice storm comes in, and it did. Our power went out at 5:30 Sunday morning. And it came back on the following Monday night at 8 o'clock. It was out all week. And for 2 days, we could not get out of our driveway. A tree fell down blocking the driveway, and the road going any fucking where was blocked.
That's a desperate situation.
Very desperate. Very desperate. Luckily, I had planned. I made sure I told everybody, I said, y'all fill your cars up with gas. I just, I took a charge, and there was something about it. I mean, and shit, I mean, it got down like 4 degrees. I mean, it was cold. But I got a little fireplace. We were able to I cooked supper on it. And it's just something about it being so vulnerable. But then, I stepped up, you know, when it was something, I've been a good dad, I think. I'm sure my kids have some criticisms, but, to be put to the test like
Makes
that.
You feel useful.
It did. Because especially when your kids get to be teenagers, they kind of look at you like, well, we don't need you anymore. And you get to feeling that. But they were they were glad I made them fill up their cars with gas. And I had plenty of wood, because we don't usually burn wood. But I just, for 3 days, I just walked around the yard with a fucking axe and a saw and breaking shit up and just stacking it up on the porch. And then took some old swimming pool and covered it up so it'd be dry. And it was that kind of just, I don't know, made me feel a little alive. And then, the New York trip. And then I've got to say one thing. I used to be a heavy, heavy drinker. I mean, like at least 8-9 beers a day. That's Monday through Friday. Who knows? Carte blanche on the weekend. And but I've quit now. I've gone at least 6 months out of the last 3-4 years without drinking a drop. And I flirt, and for the last while, have a couple, but I can't drink more than 3. And thank goodness. And but
you got roofied, right? You got slipped a real beer for a non-alcoholic.
I did, but it was, yeah, I take responsibility for that. Yeah, it wasn't some old guy trying to fuck me. Damn it, no, no, yeah.
Yo, real beer for the NA.
Yeah, it was. Which I think at some point I was going to stop. I can't. I mean, I could have easily. What, I don't know. I've learned about addiction, but I think at some point I was ready for it to happen.
Yeah.
It was, and one man, it was one of those days you want a beer. I mean, like, it's what I was looking for. I went to the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. I didn't know what to expect being, and like I said, I mean, I've never heard anything about Baltimore. Good. And then I show up down this, and it's all this like old cobblestone road, like Revolutionary War shit that I don't know why. I mean, hell, why wouldn't they have been there? Yeah, but I just didn't think. I think about Boston or something like that. And so, I mean, and it's just gorgeous right there on this. I toured a fucking submarine and just walking around, and it's a pretty day or whatever. And I had a show that night, or not going to a mic or whatever. And I wanted to find some place just to think about, what I want to say, talk about the city. I was like, and I'm like, man, if this was Nashville, it's nothing. Because if you're right down by the river, it is just bar, 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 bar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am just walking around this motherfucker parched with thirst. Finally, I find this old bar, cool sports bar. I mean, it's like walking into fucking Cheers, but in Baltimore. This old dude, like 70-something years old, standing back in my bar. They got the fucking Orioles games on. I mean, and all this cool memorabilia. I mean, it's just cool as shit. And I did. I said, do you have any NA beer? Oh, and he just, yeah, I got the delicious one. And I didn't think anything. And I don't know if I subconsciously wanted it to be a not.
You might have willed it.
Yeah, I'm like, because I'm firmly convinced he took that as IPA and poured it. And I've started to realize it, which I don't know, an NA beer and IPA, they kind of both can be disgusting depending on which one they are.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And about halfway through the second one, I was like, I don't think this is non-alcoholic. I drank a third one just to make sure. You just make, and it's definitely an IPA.
IPA. And why did we get off on that? We were talking about...
You were just asking about the trip. Well,
you're in New York. You're
when I started, and after that, I realized, like, all right, I got to find a way that I can do this.
Yeah.
And I tried to work it out where I was doing more with the radio station, and I kind of aggravated them a little bit. I still do the show, but that's about it.
And the radio station is who you emailed that you were not coming back?
I emailed my boss at the radio station. Okay. I said, hey, man, I'm going to New York. I need some time off.
Or that you weren't coming back.
I'm going to New York. I'll be back week after next. And he's like, hey, we all need time.
And he was
they're great. I want to make it clear. I love working for it. I did not like the work. And then they have a very different culture. They worked together for a long time. And I don't know. And I don't know. The way I was trained, I moved too fast, I think.
Yeah.
And but I love being part with them with the radio station. I love the stations. I love all the people I work with. And now I can go do really what I want to do, And that's the thing. I've been a salesman for a long time, over 30 years. And and my biggest problem with being a salesman, and I've done good, but I've never been a top tier one. Part of it because usually I get very disgusted with what I'm selling, or I get bored with it, or I end up having to justify it.
Yeah.
Now I sell me.
Yeah.
I sell me.
Yeah.
And now I'll sell. I'll find people I got to depend on to do shows, and that gives me an energy.
That's where your energy comes from.
That all of it, just all of it, and I think I'm living. I used to say, I think the last time I was this passionate about doing anything is when I was 9 years old playing baseball. I was just, I mean, it was all I wanted to do was play baseball. I would just, if I would have a ball, I would stand outside my grandparents' house and they had this brick wall, and I would just sit there with a tennis ball and pretend like I was playing third base for the fucking whoever. And then behind my parents' house, just sit out there. But then I learned real quick that wasn't going to happen. And I don't know. And then until now, I started being obedient, I guess. I started doing what I thought everybody wanted me to do. About 10 years old, I started doing what, I started thinking about, I realized I was fat. People started making fun of me. I was overweight. And I didn't think about it before. Or I'd just beat them up. Motherfucker called me, when I was 7 years old. But something, I don't know what it was, I just got self-aware or self-conscious around that age. And I guess that happens to everybody. And I still did some plays and stuff, but by the time I was in middle school, I quit doing that because I didn't want anybody to think I was gay or something like that, Only gay
so you're
guys
letting
want
the
to be.
world kind of dictate what you were doing.
I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And now, I'm not trying to do anything to piss off anybody in the world necessarily, but I'm going to just do what I want to do. And I've kind of just been doing what I want to do until somebody says, you can't do that. And when they do, I'll ask why. And if they give me a good reason, I'll stop. And if not, and they could give me a good reason, like, if you don't stop, we're going to put you in jail, and I'll stop, whether I agree with it or not, most of the time. And nobody, they hadn't come to that. But
well, that is inspiring too, because we could all be so lucky to, find and be able to do something that we do love that much.
And look, I am very privileged to be able to do this, and especially in the way I'm doing it. It's.
I think I would. I think everybody should try to do that.
If they can't, I hope, and I don't understand why we can't have a society of where more people are able to do this. I have had a very privileged life that I've gotten away and been given the benefit of the doubt probably more times than I should have been, and then been able to do things like this, just kind of make my own decisions through life. And I get it that a lot of people have not had that opportunity. And I just don't understand why we can't.
Yeah.
The other night.
It kind of takes you waking up to realize.
Yeah. Well, it's in America and maybe other countries, I don't know, but we just have this winning is everything, and competition and I ain't a problem. If we want to have a fun little roast battle or a comedy competition, and so somebody can get some big prize money or something. But at the end of the day, like tonight, I don't give a fuck. At the end of the show, if nobody tells me I was the funniest comedian up there, but they all had a good time and they're laughing, they're like, oh, I love Morgan, or I love this, or I don't care.
You're a big picture guy.
That's the way, and I think
that's the way.
The more we should all be that way. Look, we're all here to have fun. We all should be focused on, God damn, trying our best to just enjoy
have
fun.
Have fun.
That's it. Just
and you embody that. I feel like
I hope so.
You seem like a guy. Like you just seem like just without even any explanation. I was just like, this guy likes to have fun.
Yeah,
and
fun, but and it's not. I mean, I used to look at it that fun was how fucked up I'd get, drinking or doing wild, or how many
fun has
having sex or whatever, and and don't get me wrong, I still like to have a couple beers. I'd love to have sex, but at the end of the day,
I was wondering.
Huh?
I said, good. I was wondering.
All right, yeah. But at the end of the day, I want to have fun. I have just, I don't know. I've had a blast just driving down the road and seeing something and just stopping and taking pictures and selfies and shit. I never thought I'd do some shit like
You're an old explorer.
I have been. And it's been, finally, I've been trying to figure out how to do social media. And then finally I put it together, my story. Oh, fuck it. Okay. I can just take pictures and throw them on there and it shows what I'm doing. I just need to learn how to tell a good story using this. I'm pretty good. If you put me up on a stage, give me a microphone, telling a story, or I can even write you one. But now this is different. I got to tell it with pictures and can use words and music.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been fun. I mean, hell, I get overwhelmed because we've done so many cool things that I haven't even put them up because I want to make sure I'm putting. I'm very particular. I don't just want to put the pictures up there because I want to find the right song and
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell a good story.
Yeah.
And so it's I'm getting where I really enjoy the whole thing. And I can't remember where the question started, but yeah.
No, well, that's cool. I like that is inspiring, and I'm glad. I like to hear and be near people who are living their just doing what they want to do. Like you talk about how much you love doing comedy and traveling and doing all this stuff. Like that's inspiring for people who are not doing that. So
Yeah, I hope so. Well, and I get it. I mean, I'm glad that not everybody wants to be a fucking stand-up comic
oh,
and
me
to go
too.
do what I'm doing because it would, one of the things I'm doing. I went to go to the Bird Dog Museum instead of Graceland. There was no line at the Bird Dog Museum. I hate standing in line. I hate waiting in traffic. I hate if look. I have no problem going like Bonnaroo, the big music festival outside of Nashville. You'd have to pay me a lot of fucking money to go to Bonnaroo, or put me on stage.
Put you on the stage, yeah.
This year I got invited to go be on stage, so I went.
You were on the stage at Bonnaroo?
I was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my friend Mike Drew got us down there. We were hosts on like one of the stages outside. We kind of were like hosts during a DJ thing.
Okay.
And they never shut the few. But yeah, we just got to get up there and just kind of talk shit with the crowd. And me and Mike bantered back and forth. And then for like 5 minutes, and then they then introduced the next act. They would do some music acts, and then they'd have a DJ, which is like a music act. And I was hoping I told Mike, I said, you need to let them know. Because I saw the crowd. And I asked, I'm like, all right, when does this end? And they said, well, it could end at midnight or it could end at 7 in the morning. I'm like, that's a big time frame there.
Yeah.
A lot to go on. And which I'm there, I'm all pumped and I'm getting into it. And I'm like, I better chill, because I want to be ready if they want somebody at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning when this show gets out over here and everybody's coming. So I actually went out to this family, a little place, did some yoga, just kind of chilled out. And I started noticing the crowd because, I mean, the whole time, it's just fucking, the first musical guest was like this dude, young kid walked out there. He goes, I'm going to sing some punk rock, and just fucking waylaid on the guitar. I mean, it was good. And then took a break, and a DJ's up there. I mean, the music never stops. It's just constant. So people are out there dancing, and that's what they want.
Yeah.
I guess. And then a country rock guy. And then they went into these rappers. And I had this, oh God, Shawty Lee. Look up Shawty Lee. Oh, she's amazing. Oh, so hot. And then these, rap bands. So it's just constant. And I told Mike, I said, man, but there'd be like, they'd have to move to a DJ just playing music while they're setting up for the next musician. And I was like, man, these people are getting fucking tired. I said, they're going to start, I don't know, go back to their tent or something, I said, but if you could just, hell, they ought to let us just for like 15 minutes, you introduce me one time, then I'll do you the next. And
just an in-between act thing.
Yeah. And then, not taking up the DJ's whole time, just a little bit, just to give them a chance to fucking settle down for a minute. No, they want to do it. They don't want the music to stop. And sure enough, the whole fucking crowd was just gone. There was never was like huge, it was like maybe 40 people. And, but still everybody's dancing. The stage is still huge. Got the smoke detectors and shit. Not detectors, smoke machines. And these last group, they go out there. I went out there. I did, plus this woman rapper, she's wearing like this fucking leather bikini and these boots, and she's so badass. And she puts on a show. So I go out there and just sitting there by myself. I'm the only one in the grass. I got me a little float or something, taking pictures. And then at the end of the show, these guys, I just go back around back. And when I got out there, some people kind of started coming back out. And then I go background backstage because it's the last act. I want to be back there. And these young men come off, these rappers, and he grabs a box and he just opens up and he goes, "Who wants a T-shirt?" And he hands it. This woman standing there. He goes, "You take a pink one." And then these guys are, "Give me a black one, a gray one." And he looked at me and I said, "Give me a pink one." He was like, "You want a pink?" I said, "Just give me a pink one." And I just took the shirt and I put it on right then. I just took my shirt off, put that one on. And I turned around and him and one of his other bandmates saw I had that shirt on. And it was like seeing two kids that had just seen Santa Claus. Them seeing somebody wear their shirt, I guess. I don't know, that I'd put it on. And they're like, "Oh, man, we need to get pictures. We need to get pictures." And because they didn't know who I was, but they know I got invited there to get out there and talk on stage. And they might
saw
have
you
known.
on stage,
yeah. So they know I'm somehow, they don't know.
He has a microphone.
Yeah, I'm a white man wearing this hat. I might be a fucking record producer for all they know. And so I'm like, "Hell, let's go out there. All right, let's go out on stage." And I was walking by, and they had all the microphones was just sitting there. And I looked at them, and I said, "Can I have a microphone?" And the guy goes, "Knock yourself out." So I grabbed a microphone, and I just walked out on stage. And I said, "Hey, I've been hearing about this Bonnaroo shit for 30 fucking years. And I finally show up, and you assholes are going to bed at midnight, you bunch of fucking dicks." And people, you could see them at their table. There were a couple people starting coming out. And they start, the music still playing or whatever. And this little, like, I don't know, Pakistani dude or something. I'm not trying to be insulting, but I'm just trying to describe him, and with an accent. He starts talking, and you can see who he's talking to because they all look just like him. And he starts, and I don't know how I know how I got up there, but I don't know why he's there. And I think he just came up there. So he's sitting there asking, telling his friends, "Come up here." And I'm thinking, well, all right, if you can invite. So I see this really hot woman just standing over dancing in this, little black dress, and a bunch of people just standing there all around her. She's the only one dancing. I'm like, "Hey, you in a black dress." I'm like, "Get up here." And so she's like, "Oh, yeah." So she comes, I'm like, "God, this is the craziest fucking, oh, God, I love it." And so she comes up there and, she's just sitting there. I dance with her for a second. Then I start talking shit or something. And then finally somebody grabs me by the shoulder. I'm like, "Hey, you can't be inviting people on stage." I was like, "Oh."
So, I thought I could.
Yeah. So I had to kick her off. But,
oh, man, you had to kick the hot chick with the black dress off.
Yeah. Well, her husband wasn't real happy about her running up there anyway. No, he was cool. He was cool. That's what I told
The
him.
husband was cool.
And I just, but yeah, that was my Bonnaroo experience. So I gave it my best whirl.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. Since by mid-March, I have written at least 3 times or thought, I don't know how many, 10 times, "It's been one of the best days of my life."
Yeah.
Or "This has been the
good place to
best
be in your
week
life.
of my." I mean, I thought it would take me years to outdo that New York trip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but hell, just making a drive to Paducah, Kentucky to go do a show at a fucking brewery with some friends. It was just it's wonderful fucking experience. So it's just amazing. Yeah, it's. I hope it don't. I mean, I know how it is. Sometimes you got to be. But the thing is, I understand. I've had. You get bad things
You're
going
in
to
the
happen.
moment. You're enjoying the moment.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're
very present. I think that's, as we get older, we start to understand how important that is.
Well, and I've started doing one other thing. I've been doing yoga. Got big into it. I quit smoking. Oh, God. I guess I was totally off alcohol and cigarettes from June of 2025 until, well, I guess, when I went to New York. I started drinking and smoking again. I started doing, and I've done yoga for a while. I used to go to some classes, and I really liked it, but it's hard to get to classes. It's up to 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not a big fan of having to get up and rush.
Yeah.
I kind of like to ease into the day, and so I started doing. I just typed in beginners yoga on YouTube, and found this lady, Cassandra, and just started doing every day, just every morning. And it's gotten where I've kind of slowed down being on the road, but usually at least twice a day. I do it every morning. And well, I hadn't slowed down. Yeah, maybe I've done. I'll do it up to 3 times if I can. Like if I can get back by the house midday, I'll do a stretch. But that's helped me. I don't know. And then my favorite yoga instructor in Goodlettsville, Daisy. She just one day we were in there, and they're always talking to you. I don't know if you've ever done yoga.
I've not.
But they're just kind of talking in a calm way, trying to make you feel good about yourself. And Daisy she said, we don't believe in perfect. And I'm like, that's a damn good, because I spend most of my life not doing something because I'm trying to make it perfect.
Yeah.
And like posting shit on Instagram. I was waiting until I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm like, fuck it, just do it.
Do it, yeah.
And then I've learned so much about just making videos on Instagram in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's perfect. No, I want to make it good. I want it to be quality, but I don't, I don't care if there's an error here or there, a little blip. Ain't no sense in getting bent out of shape. And then Cassandra, the YouTube yoga instructor, she just said, I trust the flow of life.
Yeah.
And for some reason, those two things, that's kind of my mantra now. I don't believe in perfect. I trust the flow of life. And it's kind of taken me, and I think that's been me my whole life. If you've ever been in sales, you got to set goals. And I struggled with it, just like I'd struggled with it when I was a kid. What do you want to do? I had no idea. I mean, the only thing I knew is that I just said, I was going to get married. I was going to have a kid. I was going to buy a house. Because that's what I was supposed to do. That's what good Christian boys do.
Yep.
I didn't care what I did for a living. I wanted to be the boss. Didn't care.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the boss. And I've done it all. I did all that shit.
So we like advice on this show. So what you just said, would that, if I asked you to give anybody advice, especially comedians, would you say that would probably be it? Like, have that mantra, don't be perfect.
Yeah, don't wait till it's perfect.
And the other thing you said that was good too. I don't know. You had 2 good things right there. I can't remember.
It had to be more than that, man. Come on.
What would your advice be?
Well, yeah, don't ever. You can't wait to
Don't wait for it to be perfect. That's really good advice.
If you want to draw a picture, just draw a fucking picture.
Yeah.
You'll get better. Draw another one. And,
you can't get better without doing it.
Yeah. And I tell people that I think that I see them out in public. I'm like, hey, you ought to come to an open mic. They'll express how they like comedy. And then I'll hear them say, I'm like, you could try it. And they're like, oh, I could never do it. I'm like, I guarantee you, being funny is not a requirement to try open mic.
No, and
I can prove that within 5 minutes of you being at one.
And to get the mental benefits of doing it, you don't have to be funny either.
Yeah.
Like facing your fears.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, even if you don't, I get it. What I'm doing is fucking insane in some level. And a lot of people... And a lot of women have expressed me like, no, you're cool and all, but no, I'm not getting hooked up with you. Yeah, you just quit your fucking job and took off to Texas. So,
we think it's cool.
Well, yeah, I think everybody thinks it's cool. So I hope, but I think it's cool, and I can't believe I get to do it. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that it's not something you'd get to do. Not me, for whatever reason.
Happen.
That's it. And that's one, I think comedy forces you to do that as much. And I'm not saying other art wouldn't, but comedy, you learn that. Have you seen that new movie with Will Arnett?
No, but I know
I'm
what you're
dying
talking
up here
about.
or whatever.
I know you're talking about. I've heard a lot of good things
where he
about it.
goes to an open mic fucking twice and bangs some hot chick and gets called to open for Ari Scheifer. Like, get the fuck out of here, you know? And maybe that fucking girl would have fucked you, but no, you're not. They're not calling for that. And but you learn, there's no talent scout. I think we've all seen the movies where there's some comedian goes to an open mic and gets discovered, and and that's the dream. Well, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. You and your friends have got to get together and make your own show. and go and find bar owners and learn how to sell and pitch this idea.
And the salesman stuff probably helps you there.
It does. I mean, and I have tons of connections.
That's
with bars.
Underestimated in how
very
how
much is.
That is. If you want to be a traveling, because what everybody wants to do is they want to hit the road, and as a comedian, but you understand what it takes to do that.
Yeah, and I also understand something very valuable that a lot of comedians don't. At the end of the day, all that matters is how many fucking Bud Lights and Hot Wings are sold.
Exactly.
That's it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can be the funniest comedian, write the best songs, have unlimited karaoke, whatever it is, it's going to get people in there to sell for them to make. And there's part of me that hates that, but we live off a consumerism society. And it's just kind of the way it is. Now, there are free to do it, excuse me. But, I understand, I understand what it's like to be I think most comedians don't realize that what they're doing is that they are a small business. They have a small business and they need to fucking treat it that way. And I even kind of ignored that for a little bit. Now
the kind of people that get in.
Because you can get in big trouble if it does take off.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people, and you get taken advantage of.
But I can see how that happens too, because the kind of people that get into it, they don't have any of that they don't learn any of that stuff.
No, most of them are people in college, dropped out of college, fucking their kids their parents kicked them out of the house. People tend to be funny or not
business savvy,
right.
technically.
Exactly. It's the more edgier people that they're the ones that have stuck up their fingers to the 9-to-5 jobs. I embraced that shit. I worked in the corporate world. I worked for a $2 billion company for almost 30 years. And I saw how they make the sausage, and it will turn your fucking stomach. And but you understand the businessman's mentality. And even
because those are the kind of people you'd be working for at a bar.
Yeah, you work for them, but you also you have to learn how to deal with their ego. There is nobody we worship more in America than the fucking entrepreneur. They're seen, but for some reason what we're doing isn't necessarily entrepreneur enough. You got to go open up a store. If we'd open up a bar, or a HVAC company, we're fucking Davy Crockett or something. But But they get it. They think they work harder than anybody. They sacrifice everything they had to carry on their father's business. That's the kind of mentality they have. They always want to be patted on the back, and they're which you like the people. But they don't understand their privileges and stuff like that. So I find that very annoying. But not my sponsors. They're the greatest.
Not the sponsors on this show.
Sorry.
I'm going to do one more thing. We're about there. You see what I have here?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Okay, this is my Mount Rushmore of comedy.
All right.
So I want to know your Mount Rushmore of comedy.
My Mount Rushmore of
comedy. I should have prepared you for this.
No, this is fun.
Who's your favorite comedian of all time?
To listen to, I guess, I don't know, it's changed. Dave, these two right here. Well, I don't know. I think Eddie Murphy, it's hard to say. It really is. Eddie Murphy was the first I'd heard, the comedians I'd heard before were like country comedians from the Grand Ole Opry, like Jerry Clower, Minnie Pearl, they could be risque, but in a Southern Baptist kind of way. And then one of my friends had a cassette tape of Eddie Murphy Raw. And oh my fucking God.
That was the life changer? Or that was the one you were like, this is what people can do?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was so confused. I didn't understand. I didn't know that Eddie Murphy got to where he was being a comedian. I got introduced to Eddie Murphy. He was fucking buckwheat on Saturday Night Live. And then he had movies. And I mean, he became
the movies were big for
biggest.
Me.
At one time, he was the biggest comedian, the biggest movie star, and had the #1 album.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, that's just insane.
No, I dare I say no one else has ever done that and will ever do that.
And I'd say he's probably I think he's the best.
He's the most
I
talented.
think he's the most talented person that's ever lived.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
I agree with you on that.
Possibly right behind him.
Big influence on Chappelle with Eddie Murphy too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what are these ones you're talking about? Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor was the same.
Richard Pryor. I mean, I watch his stuff, which you look back at it, a lot of it's comedy is very dated, so it's kind of different. But his message
stuff was so risque for back then, though. I feel like
you got to take it in the times.
But I feel like it travels well for that reason.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Most of his points, and there's things. And I don't even know how to say it. And which Richard wasn't. I don't think him or George Carlin, either one, were as. They didn't go for the laugh.
They were ahead of their time a little bit.
Yeah, they were more into telling you of an opinion. Dave Chappelle would do it, but like Eddie Murphy, you just lay down and want to cry, laughing.
Yeah.
I don't do that with George Carlin and Richard Pryor. I listen to their stories more.
These guys were kind of like thinkers and make you think. Eddie Murphy just made you cry laughing. It was just so funny. Louis C.K. And you don't have to agree with these.
No. I'm not saying they're my Mount Rushmore, but Louis C.K. is. I mean, these are some of my favorites, and I think probably the best. Louis C.K. I think is the best comedy writer ever. He's the darkest.
Good.
I mean, that motherfucker is good and can get away with it.
Such a good joke writer.
Oh yeah, and he's good on stage. But I think.
So, what would your 4 be?
I would have to put. Some that I only got, I've known her my whole life, and I can't even mention her name. I know her character, but she was Aunt Esther on Sanford and Son.
Okay.
And look her up, because I was, just on Pandora one time. I put in Red Fox. I grew up with Sanford and Son, and he was. If you've ever seen Harlem Nights, it's a movie with Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and it's got Delta Burke. An all-star cast. I mean, it's hilarious. And Red Fox was in it. It's probably one of the last movies he ever did.
You're talking about Harlem Nights?
Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
And so I just put in Red Fox Pandora radio station, and then they started paying Wanda. I think is her name, Wanda. And I figured it out that she was Aunt Esther on the one. She was his Fred's sister-in-law that carried her Bible everywhere, and was his arch nemesis. But I'm telling you, back in the fucking 20s, 30s, I don't know, was just laying it down, talking about getting your popped and shit. And I'm like, that's fucking radical for a woman and a black woman. Yeah, and I thought that's
so
fucking
she's on
bad.
there.
Oh,
okay.
She's the pinnacle. Yeah, it's not. These guys. Good. I admire the women because I've seen. I mean, I've not witnessed anybody do anything sexually inappropriate or anything with comedian, but I can just the way they talk about them. I hear it all the time from well-meaning, open-minded men. Well, I don't know. They're just they seem like that's all they do is want to talk vulgar. I'm like, yeah, like me. That's all I talk about is. I say it constantly, and everybody, you think it's hilarious, but because she's got blonde hair and blue eyes, and you could see her having your kids, you don't want to hear that shit, and so I kind of
appreciate
I appreciate that a little bit more, and
cool.
But then,
so we got her, Wanda, and then who's 2? And maybe turn your a little bit.
Sorry,
good. I know they swivel.
Yeah.
And then we got who else?
Shit. Well, I can't think. I don't know.
And you can reuse some of mine as well too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
I stood by. I think he is. I'd never really watched him until I'd heard of him. I'd seen the sketch for the black-white supremacists, but I never really got introduced to him until he made this comeback.
Yeah.
And that's when I watched his show and saw it. I mean, I saw he was on Saturday Night Live right after Trump got elected, and I watched it, and I just, man, oh my gosh, and and I respected what he had to say, and I definitely thought he's still, just no denying it, the man is a comedy fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that TV show, I've watched other sketch shows, they're not even in, Saturday Night Live is not even,
No.
I don't think Saturday Night Live could come up with 2 seasons worth of episodes that good, that they've already done with him in them. But I lost a little respect for him when he, with the transgender thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was on his side at first. I mean, all he was doing was making fun of Caitlyn Jenner, and fuck her. She's a fucking horrible person. And if he was getting shit, I can understand a little pushback. But then it came to like, all right, you got to shut the fuck up. You're giving these dickheads over here ammunition, and that's what they did. Mark Maron. Mark Maron, I think I would put him. And he's somebody.
Okay, Mark Maron's up there.
Yeah,
okay. We haven't had a Mark Maron yet.
I love him as an actor. I love his TV shows he's in. He plays great characters. And
I did love the show Maron. I did like that on Netflix.
I have never seen that one, but I saw
that was my intro to him. I didn't know he was a comedian when I saw that show.
Glow
was good.
Yeah,
Glow
I think it's phenomenal. And then he's got one kind of corny, but it's still kind of funny. It's Owen Wilson's in it. I watched the first first season, but I don't watch TV anymore. But yeah, Mark Maron, I think he's real. He's funny. Is he as hilarious as somebody else? Probably not. But he's very thought provoking and funny.
Mm-hmm.
And just a good guy. He's calling out a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
I think because I think the Joe Rogans, the Dave Chappelle's. They kind of did. They gave people on the right some justifications that they didn't have. And I think that was a big issue. Just the transgender issue alone, I think if people could have shut up about that, Donald Trump doesn't win that second time. Mm-hmm. But that got enough people riled up, and for no fucking reason, just none. So I lost some respect for him with that.
So we got Wanda, Dave.
I'll put Dave Chappelle up there. I will put him up there. He's got to be on my Mount Rushmore.
Mark Maron, and then what's the fourth one?
Because Dave Chappelle on stage is I'm mimicking his the way he does things, and because I think he's just smooth and cool about it, and the way he calls things out. So yeah, he's got to be up there. I've stolen too much from you, Dave. And then, all right. So who would be? Who was somebody I just? Shit. Oh fuck. I can't think of his name. Big black guy won. I think he was either second runner up or was on the last comic standing. Oh shit. He was in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Is he alive?
I think he still is. Hell, we were just talking about him the other day. Lavelle Crawford.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, dude, do yourself a favor. I think he may be the funniest person that's ever fucking lived.
The most unique.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore, I've heard.
Good. So, yeah, I need to write it down.
Lavelle Crawford.
Lavelle Crawford.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Lavelle Crawford.
He's got he's got a bunch of good stuff, but he's got one, and I'll just tell you what it's about. He's got one where he's in the hospital, and he has this wonderful angel of a white nurse, and all of a sudden they send in this old black nurse after that, and he is not happy about it. It's one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life. So yeah, look him up. He's
Lavelle.
I think he's probably the funniest person ever.
Ever?
Yeah. Okay, oh yeah.
Cool. I
put him up there.
Now.
Yeah. He just all you can't. Well, I mean, he's got it. He's big. I mean, like real big, but he dresses like a pimp. You know. And but Southern, I think he's from Alabama or something.
Lavelle Crawford.
His name, his voice sounds like his name.
Yeah, I can picture it.
Yeah, I'd like to see what you go draw him.
Okay.
I was like, in ways, he kind of looks like Grimace from. I'm being mean now. Oh man, this has been fun. I want to do more podcasts.
It has been fun. Well, I think we made it to the end, I appreciate you having I appreciate you carving out some
Yeah.
time. We got a
Hey.
show tonight.
That's right. Yeah, we got to get
We
ready.
got a show tonight. We got to get our, I don't know, our massage and our yoga in or whatever we do before we do the show. So
Yeah, hell, we still got like 3 hours before. I want to get done there about 6 so we can set up the banner and everything.
So where can everybody find you?
I'm at Les_Clendenin on Instagram. I've got a website, NashvilleComedian.com, and I'm trying to get it. Most of my shows should be posted there, but if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you can see in my story where I'm doing it. And yeah, I'll be at Hoops tonight, and
we'll come back and do some more shows.
On the way. I'm coming back, definitely.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Well, thanks for coming, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Morgan.
Goodbye.
Dude, this
Yeah.